6 p.m. on October 21st, 2025, and I'd like to call this meeting of the Village of Sugar Grove to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On the have roll call, please, Tracy.
President Stovall.
Here.
Trustee Lundy.
Here.
Trustee Bonnie.
Here.
Trustee Michaels.
Here.
Trustee Special.
Here.
Trustee London. Trustee Roscoe.
Here.
All right. We have no scheduled public hearings this evening, no proclamations, no presentations, no appointments, and do we have airport report, Trustee Special?
Yes, and they're affected as well by the federal government shutdown. They don't really have a lot of projects going. They are building that smaller hangar, but beyond that, they've got paving contracts that have been held up for other reasons with the contract. And it's just been a slow time for the airport right now, so not much moving along.
Thank you.
Is that hangar part of J Air or somebody else?
No, that's somebody else's hangar. I can look up the name.
Yes.
It's not on the top of my head.
No, that's fine. Thank you.
We'll have public comment on scheduled action items. The items on the consent agenda this evening are the approval of the October 7, 2025 Village Board meeting minutes, approval of the vouchers, approval of the September 2025 Treasurer Report, a resolution allowing 4-foot fences in corner side yards in Settlers Ridge. And then for general business, we have an ordinance, minor amendment of the Sugar Grove Center Lot 9, planned unit development, revised landscape plan at 112 East Galena Boulevard, and then a resolution objection to extraterritorial special use, 4673 Orchard Solar and 4674 Blue Stem Solar. Is there anyone scheduled for public comment?
No one signed up.
All right. Is there anyone who did not sign up and would like to comment? All right. Oh, yes.
Jason Day with Excel Engineering, civil engineer for the project. I'm here just to answer any questions you guys might have on the amendment.
Just to clarify, is that the amendment for Lot 9 planned unit development?
Sorry, that's for the revised landscape plan.
Oh,
Item A under general business.
are there any questions?
No, it's not the time.
Hearing no questions and no one else signed up for public comment, we will close public comment at this time. Would anyone like to remove an item from the consent agenda? All right, is there a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make the motion.
We have a first from Trustee Roscoff. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And a second from Trustee Michaels. Tracy, can we have roll call, please?
Trustee Lundy.
Aye.
Trustee Special.
Aye.
Trustee Roscoe.
Aye.
Trustee Michaels.
Aye.
Trustee Bonnie.
Aye.
The ayes have it, and the consent agenda is approved. Our first item of general business, we have an ordinance, minor amendment of the Sugar Grove Center Lot 9 planned unit development, revised landscape plan at 112 East Galena. Is there a motion and a second to discuss and vote on item 11A?
I'll make that motion.
We have a first from Trustee Special. Is there a second?
Second.
And a second from Trustee Bonnie. Danielle Marion will be presenting this item.
So we have received an application for a minor PUD amendment for the Jiffy Lube property at 112 East Galena. They are requesting to revise their approved landscape plan. The revised landscape plan would be removing a total of, I believe, 3 trees. Sorry. removing 3 trees and relocating them to a different spot on the lot to give the building more visibility from Galena. And so, the plan commission discussed the proposed revised landscape plan at the last board meeting last week, or plan commission meeting. They had no concerns over the revised plan, and they recommended that the board approve the minor PUD amendment with the following conditions. Should the petition fail, Jiffy Lube must install and maintain landscape as shown on the original landscape plan, and that Jiffy Lube work with staff to include more pollinators if possible. You have before you an ordinance approving the revised landscape plan for a minor PUD amendment, and the applicant is here if you have any questions.
Is there any discussion?
Do we have a copy of the original plan to show?
Yes, so, it looks like it's in not making, I apologize, so not making it into your packet. The original plan just has, if you look at the one that is attached to this,
Okay.
there were, I believe, 2 or 3 trees up here by the path
Okay.
on Galena,
Uh-huh.
and then 1 tree over here towards the bank in
Okay.
front by Galena.
It's page
That-
11 of your packet, by the way. Sorry, that page is numbered?
Yep.
Thank you.
That's the new plan, is it not, or
Yeah.
is this?
Yep.
So that's the new plan, and so they were removing those trees and replanting them back here towards the back of the lot, like a couple of these trees over here on the side by Ace,
Okay.
and in the rear were replacement trees they're proposing.
And do we know what kind of trees they're replacing them with?
They are replacing them with autumn blaze maple, I believe. Yeah.
And so, one more time, where were they at the Galena frontage, where were they?
So at the Galena frontage where you see this, the little square
Uh-huh.
that juts out towards Galena,
Yeah,
there was kind of 3 trees close to the path there, I think 2 or 3 trees close to the path right there
okay.
in that corner. And then 1 farther over here in the corner closer to the bank
Mm-hmm.
on Galena, that was dead, that they removed.
Oh. Could they replace the one dead tree and then just plant 2 others in the back of the lot? Or-
Yeah, so they're replacing, are you removing 3 trees in the front?
3 of them are replanting.
Yeah, the dead one.
Oh,
So a total of 4 trees are being removed to the front, from the front, and replanting in these trees that are dispersed throughout the perimeter.
okay. But they'll replace the dead one in the front? Okay.
No, the dead one in the front, they're taking down completely and moving it to the back.
Okay.
They're not putting another one in the front to replace the dead one.
Oh. Should we replace that one, or?
It's being replaced, but not in that same
Yeah.
location.
It looks like it's pretty heavily landscaped in
Yeah.
the back, and I didn't know if,
Yeah, they're replacing it, just not in the front of the building, it's just one of the trees they're replacing in the back to account for it.
Reason why we're putting that one in the
Can you have him
back
come to
is just
the mic,
that
Ken?
creates some additional
Can
visibility.
you ask him to come up to the mic?
Oh, sorry.
Sure.
thank you.
Yeah, the reason for just replacing that one further towards the back is to just create more visibility to the site from the road, because there are so many trees already in the front that we will be maintaining and pruning up and taking care of.
Oh,
So really just to create some better vision to the building itself from the roadway.
okay. All right. Take a look at it.
Is there any other discussion?
Does the amendment include the recommendations from the plan commission?
They recommended that it was approved with the condition that they work with the village to incorporate more pollinators if possible in the landscape plan. They didn't want that to be a requirement or to hold up the project in any way, but they wanted to be able to have the option, if they could, swap some of the plants out for pollinators to work with staff on doing so.
Okay.
Yeah, we would have agreed to work with staff on that. Yep.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And can we have roll call, please, Tracy?
Trustee Special,
Aye.
Trustee Bonnie,
Aye.
Trustee Lundy,
Aye.
Trustee Michaels,
Aye.
Trustee Roscoe.
Aye.
The ayes have it, and ordinance for minor amendment of the Sugar Grove Center Lot 9 Plan Unit Development revised landscape plan is approved. Next, we have a resolution objection to extraterritorial special use 4673 Orchard Solar and 4674 Blue Stack Solar. Is there a motion and a second to discuss and vote on item 11B?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion from Trustee Lundy. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And a second from Trustee Roscoe. Danielle Marion will be presenting this item.
At the previous board meeting, we discussed the extraterritorial solar projects that we received petitions from in King County. The board was in support of sending an objection letter that needed to be sent by October 16th, objecting to both projects, which we did, which are attached to your packet. We also had the Plan Commission discuss the solar projects at their Plan Commission meeting last week. Their feedback was that they were not in support of either project. They would be more supportive of it if Sugar Grove residents were receiving $50 a month in benefits from the solar projects. Also, if the agreement was for only 10 years. They also stated that they felt like the solar projects were in a sense creating some sort of a tax revenue, but similar to a TIF district that King County was creating. Those were kind of their main comments that they had on these projects. The board also discussed previously that they would like to bring it back to approve a resolution objecting to the projects. So you have before you in your packet the resolutions objecting to both projects. I drafted them both as objections. The village board may amend them as they see necessary with conditions based on the discussion. At our previous discussion, the board was sort of split on the second, or the one solar project closest to Jericho Road. And it seemed like some board members might be okay with it if they met certain conditions. So you have before you for discussion and approval if you wish for the resolution objecting.
And actually, Clean Field Power had requested a meeting, and I invited them here tonight to speak to the entire board, because I don't have any ability to do anything for them on my own. They were not able to come tonight, and they sent this letter with their response to our objection letter, so that's what this is.
I would like to also reiterate that at the last meeting, we discussed that if we filed a resolution with the county, it would trigger the supermajority vote. I did get clarification from the county that the resolution will not trigger a supermajority vote because it is not a map amendment. So I just want to clarify that with you all.
I've read the letter from Clear Energy and Danny's letter objecting to it. And on the north property, I stand by. I just think it's not the best use around the residential. It seems like almost industrial use amongst residential areas. And I'd like to amend the letter that if this is approved, that 140 feet right of way is protected to the south, so Gordon Road could eventually be a 4 or 6 lane profile as it goes south.
We've already sent that letter because we had to send it by October 16th. So do you want us to send another letter amending it?
I think it's important that we
Okay.
do protect the 140 feet.
Is King County still open to any additional comments? I know they had closed the original deadline, the 16th.
I told them we would be discussing it tonight and possibly approving resolutions. So they're aware that we are going to be sending resolutions if they are approved tonight as well as drafting.
And then, do we know, so is the resolution gonna be more informational at the Kane County zoning hearings at this point? I don't think it triggers anything, but, I think there's 2 upcoming meetings, right?
I don't know if they're upcoming, but yeah, they'll consider the resolution as part of the application packet. And
Okay.
the village's objections, if the board approves any. I mean, I think what Danny wants to do is actually amend the resolution if the board is willing tonight, instead of actually doing the letter in a sense.
Yeah, we could add that to the
Right.
resolution as a condition of the resolution.
Thank you.
And I think the board got an email that Danny forwarded to us about a plan commissioner resident concern, that they feel that there's an impact on tax dollars because this is a 40-year contract or something to that, and they had some calculation in here. I didn't know if everybody saw it or not. I just wanted to bring that up, that there was a financial concern by one of our plan commission members.
I had also, following up on what trustee London had mentioned, and our chief had talked about with concerns with fire and not having a fire hydrant out there in that area on the one that we were kind of split on. And I did some research, and I think it's a legitimate concern, from what I read, that there are fires at solar fields, and they catch grass fires. So like what Chief said, they don't want grass down there. You don't want any kind of pollinators or any kind of prairie, because that's going to spread the fire. We don't have a fire hydrant down there. And in order to have something that is grass or something there, it has to be maintained, and we have no ability to enforce maintaining that. So my concern is, if there's a fire there, we don't have the control, and that's right next to our border. And so I am not in favor of the location.
And the fire risk was addressed in both original letters, right?
Yeah, so we just stated that they had to follow the fire comments. I reached out to Chief Moran also when I was drafting the letter, because I had some additional fire stuff in there that he mentioned at the meeting, and he said that he had talked to either Kane County or the solar company, and they revised stuff to meet whatever fire stuff that the fire department wanted them to do, and they were following their guidelines. So he didn't really have any concerns with it, fire-wise, when I reached out to him.
I still have concerns, and
Yeah,
we can't maintain
yeah,
it.
that risk can't be
And
entirely
we can't
removed.
enforce that it's being maintained to that level.
So, I believe with the addition of what trustee Michaels would like to add, is there anything else that we should add to the amended resolution before we vote?
We have 2 resolutions.
Yeah, there's 2 separate resolutions, so we have to do them for each petition separately.
Okay, I'll move to amend Blue Stem Solar at the 40W 489 Prairie Street location to include setting aside 140 feet right-of-way.
And is there a motion and a second to have a vote on the original 4673 Orchard Solar?
I'll make the motion.
And we have a motion from trustee Roscoff. Is there a second?
No, I thought trustee.
You bring it to the table, you're saying, just for approval, for the amendment.
Yes, but for the amended, we're gonna have a vote, right? Is that?
Somebody needs to second Sean's
Oh, yeah,
amendment.
something, correct.
Is that right, Brad?
Yeah.
Somebody needs to second Sean's amendment
Okay.
first.
Is there a second for Sean's amendment?
I'll second it.
All right. And now a motion and a second to vote.
No.
Vote on the amendment.
All right,
Right.
thank you, Paul. Can we vote on the motion as amended?
Trustee Michaels?
Aye.
Trustee Roscoe?
Aye.
Trustee Lindy?
Aye.
Trustee Bonnie?
Aye.
Trustee Special?
Aye.
The ayes have it, and the motion is now amended.
No.
Now we need another vote. Yes.
Move on to that. Approve the item as amended.
All right,
The amendment is
so,
approved.
all right, so can we have a motion and a second to vote on the item as amended?
And this would be for,
For the
46.
objection to the extraterritorial special use 4673 Orchard Solar as amended.
I'll make that motion.
I thought we were amending blue.
Oh,
sky.
Blue sky.
Oh, blue.
Blue sky.
Oh, blue. Oh, blue.
You just
Well,
did.
We're
You're
doing
saying
that.
we need to approve the resolution as amended, which was the blue stem one?
Correct.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no.
All right, so is there a first? I'm gonna call it a first.
I'll make,
Oh, go ahead.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, we have a first from trustee Roscoe. Is there a second? And a second from trustee Lindy. If we could have a roll call, please, Tracy, and this is for the 4674 Blue Stem Solar.
And is this also, should this also have 140-foot right-of-way?
This is just approving the
This is-
amended
Yeah, right.
blue
Approving yours
stem
first.
one that you already amended. This is approving it now.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry. Not thought. Thank you.
Trustee Roscoe?
Aye.
Trustee Lindy?
Aye.
Trustee Special?
Aye.
Trustee Michaels?
Aye.
Trustee Bonnie?
Aye.
All right, the ayes have it, and the amended motion for 4674 Blue Stem Solar is approved.
Now you need to approve the orchard one.
All right, and so were there any, just to clarify, there were no amendments requested for the 4673 Orchard Solar, is that correct? I don't believe so.
I don't believe Gordon Road will interfere with that one.
Okay.
I
So
think there's
then,
other roads that run through it, or for our
What-
transportation plan.
okay, and what was the current right of way for 4673 Orchard? Is it 70 feet? Is that what was in there?
The setback on it.
Yeah. Is everyone comfortable with that setback? No changes requested?
This is close to Bertram Road, right? Bertram and Jericho? I think from the site location last
Yeah,
week.
the maps this time.
Oh. 'Cause again, I would challenge this use close to residential. It just doesn't seem like a great use in an area that's got a lot of residential.
Any other than, any other discussion before we?
Is there a way to pull it up on maps? or
Yes.
I'm sorry, Tracy, I didn't make you do that.
You wanna type in Tracy or the address to type it in?
Is this one looking at the 41 West? Oh,
It's like right there. You're right, where is this? Yeah, it's like right there.
right here?
Could you go out?
Oh, zoom out.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks.
Yes, so it is close to Bertram.
Yeah. It's that property there
Mhm.
to the west. Could you go out further, please?
This way?
No, just zoom out further.
Oh, okay, there's 30, Jericho.
So, just to sort of assist the village board, our boundary line with Montgomery is, Sugar Grove has property to the north, Montgomery has property to the south of Jericho Road. So this would fall within the village's planning district. Would you mind expanding out even a little further, please? And then Gordon would be closer to that blue flag, to your right, to the right, there's that blue flag.
This one?
Yeah, so Gordon would, that's where Gordon is, and that would extend straight south. So this proposed solar farm would not interfere with that, but it's, I don't know what Fox Metro, Tony, do you remember what Fox Metro had planned for servicing sewer in that area?
Yeah, it basically has to go to the ComEd lines and then go south.
Oh, okay, so it'd go east and,
Correct. So it's still a ways away.
there's a lot of property in it. It's, and then what do they do for a solar field like that where there's no substation close by? Do they just put transformers in and tie into the high power lines or the power lines that go by that property, or do they have to build a substation?
I'm not sure how that works.
Typically, they have to locate them somewhere where there's lines that they can connect them to that have the service lines that can handle that type of, the load.
Voltage.
The voltage is added to it, so that is something where they have already in the past located the areas that are prime spots that can handle it. And that's where they're all, that's where they're proposed to have the lines. If it's not right next to a substation, then they would have to have lines that can handle the capacity. They wouldn't take on building a substation, that'd be too costly.
Well, isn't there that one right at 47? Just at the south end of, what was the Sowers Farm?
Oh, I can't remember, but yeah, now that you say it, okay. Yeah.
Right.
So they don't have far to go.
Right.
Well, I would like conditions on it that there be the heavy landscaping that you talked about and more than the ag fence that they were proposing, that it be a solid fence with landscaping around it.
Just to clarify, so are you still wanting the resolution objecting, or you just want conditions?
It's not my favorite use. I don't know what the rest of the board believes, if they want to go.
I'm against it, but I agree, if you're, even if it goes forward, you should still have things you want, like the fence you should have requested.
I guess our resolution objecting is going to be seen as requests that we're asking for by King County anyway, because it's really in King County's hands to approve or not approve, but they know where we want them,
So I would make a motion that we oppose this site based on the conditions that the proposed development does not show a fence that is not impervious or can't be seen through, and that the landscaping does not meet what we would require. Maybe that's how we phrase our objection, to sort of put in what we would like to see in case they do pass it.
So I think those two items are in the objection letter, so are you wanting
Oh, they're in there already.
the objection
Okay.
letter? Yeah.
No,
They're in the letter. Do you want them added to the resolution?
Would
yes.
it be easier to just attach the letter to the resolution?
Yeah.
Perhaps?
Yeah.
Is there any other discussion?
Did the plan commission oppose this?
They didn't like either of them. They weren't really open to either.
So, we have a motion, right, in a second? And-
Okay. Can we have a roll call, please, Teresa?
I believe the original motion was by trustee Lindy and trustee Roscoff.
And by attaching,
And we'll attach
It-
them, we'll attach them.
okay, thanks.
Should I revise our wording in the resolution saying that we oppose, object, subject to the following conditions as attached in objection letter? Do they need to amend the resolution?
I think you just incorporate it by
Okay.
reference, yeah.
I-
They've already approved the letter.
I can amend all the language though in the resolution. as
Just say, just
that.
incorporate
Okay.
the letter by reference.
Will you amend your second?
I'll amend my second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to amend. We will vote on the amended motion. If we could have a roll call, please, Tracy.
Trustee Lindy,
Aye.
trustee Roscoe,
Aye.
trustee Special,
No.
trustee Michaels,
Aye.
trustee Bonnie,
No.
The ayes have it, and the resolution opposing with the letter attached is approved.
Just real quick, sorry. Sorry about that.
Are we approved?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
wanted,
we're
okay,
good.
good. My apologies, just wanted to double check on the procedure.
All right, the next item of general business is a resolution, fence repairs for,
I'm sorry, that was removed from the agenda, that was posted.
Up next, we have public comments. Would anyone like to make a public comment? And there's no one signed up for it, okay. Hearing none, we will close public comment at this time. We now have discussion items. Item A is tree regulations. Danny Marion will present this item.
Previously, the board discussed the comprehensive plan action items. One of the items that the board wished to look into further was modify development standards to reflect goals for preserving and increasing tree density. Staff was requested to provide an overview of the tree regulations in our code. You have before you in your board report all of the tree regulations in our code. The first regulation in our code pertaining to trees is the tree preservation regulations. This can be found in several sections of our code. This requires developers to replace existing trees that are cut down for development. Specifically, one 3-inch caliber tree must be replanted for every 6-inch in diameter of the tree that is being removed. Our code also requires developers to plant street trees. Street trees are required in all zoning districts throughout the village. This section outlines how many trees must be planted. The village engineering manual also includes the tree regulations. This section outlines all of the requirements for parkway trees, to include the spacing and the types of trees that are permitted as parkway trees. Title 7, Public Ways and Property, Chapter 4, is the village's shade tree ordinance. This section addresses all things trees, to include the varieties, planting, trimming and removal, spraying, duties of private owners, and more, mostly focusing on trees located in the public property. The final section that talks about trees is the landscape requirements located in the off-street parking section of the zoning code. This requires that a certain number of trees be incorporated in a landscape plan depending on the yard that it's located in surrounding a parking lot. Staff has looked at these regulations. We are suggesting, as a way to increase the tree density, as highlighted in the comprehensive plan as an action item, the best way to do this would be to modify the tree preservation requirements as follows. Not less than one 3-inch caliber tree shall be required for each 4 inches of tree proposed to be removed as measured at frost height. So instead of 6 inches, we're going down to 4 inches, which would increase the number of trees that would be required to be planted. Also, we're suggesting to add, if the site does not allow for the tree replacement trees to be planted, or the developer wishes with approval from the village administrator, the developer may pay a fee in lieu of for each tree that would need to be planted. The fee shall be determined by current tree and planting fees as determined by the Parkway Tree Planning Program. This money would go into a tree fund that the village could use throughout the village to plant trees where they feel we need more trees. If you like this suggestion, it would need to move forward with a text amendment, so we are just looking for your thoughts on these regulations and direction on moving forward.
All right, is there any discussion? I had,
No, go ahead.
I had asked a couple of people for input on the current trees that we have on our allowed list, and then ones we have on our prohibited list. Carrie Ann, our planning commissioner, works in the horticulture for the DuPage County Forest Preserve. She sent a list of trees that she recommended adding. There were some oaks, red buds, witch hazel, and Gary Swick from Friends of the Fox River also agreed with her suggestions. And then Brad and Danny, I believe, consulted one of the arborists at one of the places that we order trees from. The only one that I saw where they differed was cultivars. The place that we purchased from, sorry, the place that we purchased from said cultivars were okay. Carrie Ann and I believe Gary are against cultivars. They said they can hybridize and become invasive, like the what's that pear?
Bradford pear.
Yeah, like the Bradford pear. And so that was one suggested for the prohibited list. And so I'm thinking we might need a little more time, like over the next week or two, to finalize our proposed list before we vote on it.
Well, should we keep the ornamental pear, because those have been typically a weak tree in the parkway and break?
I think that was the one that Carrie Ann was saying we have that's invasive. She was saying she recommends removing European black elder, European beech, Turkish filberts, and black cherry. And then she was saying crab apples tend to get fungus. If that ornamental pear is the Bradford pear, she thinks that we add it to prohibited because it is invasive. She said Bradford pears are arguably the top 3 worst woody invasive species in King County. I had done some volunteering with Kendall County a couple of years ago, and they were also having issues with Bradford pears, so those ornamental pears are not recommended.
I think the biggest difference is though, is we're talking about 2 different areas for trees. I think we gotta be careful what we put in the parkway. Like, no fruit trees, no nut dropping. I mean, it's hard enough to keep the storm sewers free with just leaves.
Yeah.
So we wanna make a hardy tree, but I think we could focus on updating the open areas and development as it moves forward.
Do you think it would work to have, for the allowed trees, to have 2 lists, like one for areas that are right up against a sidewalk and another like
Yeah, I think that's a great
Veterans Park
idea.
or
And then
something?
recommend them to like developers, they come in, you know, like a
Okay.
recommended species list for private areas. 'Cause
Yeah.
we don't typically regulate that, but it would be nice to give them some recommendations.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you can get 100% away from cultivars, but there's some good ones, there's some bad ones, you know. But it's
Yeah.
just, but the list that we've worked on in the past in Public Works for parkway trees have been ones that have a high survival rate in this area, you know. So,
Yeah.
and
Could we, would you be okay if we got rid of the Bradford pear though?
I don't care.
Okay.
The
Sounds
Bradford
good.
and the
Yeah.
crab apple? Well, what about the crab apple?
Yeah.
You would not want that in the parkway?
Yeah, I think we're just looking for your guys' input, because it doesn't really matter to staff, it's how you guys want to see the village.
Before our next meeting when we vote, I'd like to compile they also sent us a list of approved trees in Naperville and Warrenville, I believe.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, so I had Terry's reaching out, she has a Public Works group of
Awesome.
Public Works associates that we, in the surrounding communities.
Okay.
So she was gonna send an email out and get all their lists,
Okay,
so
awesome.
we could bring that back, so I
And
think
update
we'll have a lot more information
Yeah,
next
by the
board
next
meeting.
one. Okay.
So, and we'll give you the information ahead of time, so we can discuss it, try
Okay.
to figure it out.
Would we have the 2 list of
Yeah, we'll divide it out for
One
parkway
the
trees and then
parkway
like,
trees and then.
yeah, like what she's talking about, Crean, is it Crean?
Carrie, yeah.
Karen, that's like a forest preserve kind of recipe, if you will, like she likes, I think, you know, we're more targeting parkway trees, and there's quite a difference.
Yeah. Although the points she makes are good.
I agree. No, I think everything
About,
she
just
said.
about the invasive ones,
Yeah.
getting rid of those, and then having oaks available somewhere. But some of those, I know it takes years. The one that all three of them liked was the swamp white oak.
Mhm.
But I know over a number of years, like they can get pretty big, like 60 inches across or something. So we can fix those things.
I can't see that.
I still
Yeah,
think
swamp
yeah,
white oak,
swamp white
that's
oak
on
is
our
one of
list,
our
yeah.
trees.
Yeah,
Oh, it is? Okay, good.
that's a beautiful tree. I have one in my
Yeah.
backyard. It's great.
You should see how big the oaks are that we have down at the Well 10 treatment plant in Arbor, that
Oh.
we put in back in like '05 or '06.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And when we did the solar down there, we had to relocate a bunch of them, so we had them transplanted, and we've been nursing them along for the last couple of years, like keeping them watered and fertilized, and they're probably 6-inch diameter trees
Oh,
now.
that's
Oh.
awesome.
And they were like 2-inch caliber when we planted them.
Wow.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Looking nice.
Mary, this is sort of random, but Mary O had brought to the office like a bag of acorns, so we have those to start some, but maybe over by Veterans Park or somewhere.
Whatever you guys want to do.
I know one or two of the communities have parkway trees every 40 feet. I think our requirement's 50 feet. And I don't know if recommendation of going from 6 inches to 4 inches makes a big difference. So it's.
It seems like the denser subdivisions, like when the driveways are closer together and between fire hydrants and streetlights, sometimes we can't even get 2 trees in a lot.
Yeah.
Just depends. And then you get to a short lot, and you get 4.
Right.
We go out and measure every house and we build it and
Yeah.
figure out. I don't think we want to get them any closer than 50 foot.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. And I think there should be some discretion built into the plan that, you know, for sight lines or, you know, that, you know, public works director or somebody else could allow fewer trees if need be.
Did you want that added?
Excuse me?
Did you want that added? That the
That's fine.
public works-
I think it's actually.
I was gonna say, it's not,
it's in
I think there is wording in there that if it doesn't work when they go out to do the site locating, they
So
don't have to do it.
You could have problems with eyebrows or cul-de-sacs, whatever.
Yeah, we go out, like I said, when the permit comes, Holly will send it to Brian Beach, and he'll go out, measure, and plan, and lay them all out. It's working out really well, I think.
Good.
But stuff changes, like we added the stop signs in Windsor Point, so we had to go out there and take a couple trees down and raise a bunch of the canopies up so you can see them.
Right.
It's just, you gotta adapt and move on.
Did you have a preference with the 4-inch or 6-inch?
Well, I think that 4-inch
That,
looks for
that
removal.
4-inch and 6-inch would only apply to developers with
Yeah.
new developments. It wouldn't affect public works in any way.
Okay.
'Cause that is for the tree preservation program, so, for example, in Japan, they were cutting down trees.
How many?
instead of
Do you
the-
know what the diameter of those?
They
is?
were all under 6 inches, because they cut them down, so I had Bravo go out to measure them to make sure.
Okay.
They were all under 6-inch diameter, but if they were, it might have triggered them to have one more extra tree based on the dimensions.
Does anyone
More
else
in that
have a
instance.
preference about the 4-inch or 6-inch diameter that would
To
trigger?
be clear, this is not for new though, that's for removal, because the new construction trees are like 2 or 2.5.
Yes.
That we put in our parkway trees are.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
It's-
the
This
standard.
is-
It's measuring existing trees that are being taken down for
Yeah.
development.
So it's gotta be the replacement. You're increasing the quantity hopefully by decreasing the size that requires the replacement, yeah.
Okay.
Sounds
I think the 4 is a good idea.
Do you?
good. Is there any other?
I know that's an area that tends to get negotiated when a developer comes in.
Good.
Thank you.
So the board know this does have, as a text amendment, we'll have to go to plan commission first, so it won't necessarily be right away at our next meeting, but it'll get their input as part of the text amendment, and it'll eventually come back for approval.
So for clarity, should I move forward with the text amendment with the suggested language by staff with the 4 versus the 6 and the tree fund, be in lieu of?
Mhm.
Yes. Sorry.
should we discuss the tree list prior to the text amendment? Because we might need to include that and do it all at once. So we'll bring it back for discussion of the list next meeting, maybe.
Yeah, is there a time to discuss with the planning commission? Yeah, there would be. So yeah, if the planning commission could discuss the tree list, and then we can vote on it all together. All right, our next discussion item is a special use permit for Verizon Tower on Bliss Road. Danny Marion will present this item.
The village has received a special use application for a commercial antenna on Bliss Road. There is an existing commercial antenna here that was permitted through an annexation agreement. That annexation agreement has expired, so when the village received an application for new equipment to be installed here, it was determined that in order for any work to be done and additions to the tower, the applicants must now obtain a special use permit for a commercial antenna. There are 2 existing towers on the site. The applicant is proposing to modify the existing north tower by installing 9 antennas, 6 remote radio units, 3 over voltage protection systems, and 3 hybrids. The area the modifications will be made in is all within a communications easement. The Plan Commission held the required public hearing on October 15th. There were no objectors present. Overall, the commissioners did not have any concerns other than wanting the existing fence to replace since it is in bad shape. They voted unanimously to recommend that the village board approve the special use permit with the following conditions. Additional modifications may be made to either existing tower in the future, so as long as the height of the towers remain the same and all work is done within the existing easement. And 2, the existing fence must be replaced with a black metal open face security fence no more than 8 feet in height. Staff is requesting that the village board discuss the proposed special use and provide direction on preparing the necessary documents. And we have the applicant here. Christina is here to answer any questions that you may have on the project.
Thank you. Is there any discussion?
I think Plan Commission's right on to approve the work, but require the fence to be changed. I think it was bad shape from the day they put it in, to be honest with you. But is that basically a wrought iron fence or a?
The one that they're proposing to be replaced with, they want, yeah, they basically what's around the police department is the style of fence they were suggesting.
Okay, great. I'm more asking the question, saying, is there a way to put some screening behind it? Because you could see the weeds and stuff like that inside that area where the cabinet is. Tony, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that screening would be a good idea.
Like even 4 feet high, or I'm picturing sort of what is out at Public Works. We had that black mesh on, so it'd be great to have the metal fence, but with some screening.
There was discussion on having screening panels behind it. They left it open because they didn't know if, for security reasons, you needed to see into the site.
And that's where I was wondering if 4 feet would be adequate. But it can look.
And probably improved landscape maintenance.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
You know, keep the weeds down.
I had a planning commissioner ask a question about the antenna itself. I don't know if there's any ability to modify what that looks like, but she was saying that some antennas now are like a certain color, like green, sort of look like a tree to blend in. Is that a possibility, or is that not really a possibility? It just looks like.
Sorry, this was discussed with the plan commission to make it look like a tree, and they went back and forth about it. And I guess there's a lot of environmental negative impacts
Okay.
with those.
Okay.
So they took that out of their
Okay.
recommendation.
Yeah, she had emailed me.
Yeah, that was just where that discussion went. I think it was probably mentioned in the plan commission recommendation.
Okay.
But they did discuss that, but they chose not to move forward with requiring that.
How long have those towers been there?
So,
How long have those towers been there? Do you know?
At least,
So new.
Yeah.
I can't believe this one has been there 22 years.
I think we did the annexation 22 years ago, but the towers were existing when the annexation was done.
Oh.
It's pretty old, which is probably why the fence looks so bad.
Is there any other discussion? Alright, and then, did you say, will it be possible to upgrade the fence then?
It is still with the customer, but we don't see any denial of things. I think
Okay.
we're just trying to go back and forth with Crown and Verizon.
Okay.
Who's paying most of the fence.
Understand.
But I don't foresee any denial of that.
Okay, thank you. All right, hearing no other discussion, we will move on.
And I just confirm that you want
Yes.
it brought back with the condition that they replace the fence with the metal fence with a 4-foot screen behind it.
Yes, to match what the planning commission had requested from that fence.
Okay, so like a 4-foot vinyl, solid vinyl screening, is that what you're?
Is that what they asked for?
Yeah.
Is that what they asked for? And then
That's
and
what
then
was
Sean
thrown
wanted
out.
screening. Okay.
Okay.
All right, our next discussion item is the Settlers Ridge Illustrative Plan Lot Use Designation. Scott Cobble will present this item.
I think this is you, Danny.
That's me. I have to find it, sorry. Here we go. Okay. Recently, the board approved a re-subdivision of, I believe there were 4 townhome lots in Settlers Ridge, and it was approved to re-subdivide them into 10 single-family lots. When this was done, there is also an illustrative plan in the PDD that designates what each lot is supposed to be designated as, either a single-family home, a townhome, a duplex. When the townhome lots were re-subdivided, the illustrative plan was never updated to reflect that they could build single-family homes on them. Since then, we've also received an application from Ryan Homes for a single-family home, and when we checked the illustrative plan, that lot that they want to build on was dedicated to be a duplex lot. So this brought to light all these, they're all TRG owned lots that have recently been sold to Ryan Homes. There's a handful of them that need to be redesignated in the illustrative plan. It's kind of a housekeeping matter since the townhome lots are already re-subdivided to single family. This can be done as a resolution, as a minor PDD amendment. So you have an exhibit in here designating the lots that need to be redesignated. There are the 10 single-family townhome lots, or single-family lots that were townhomes. And then there are 4 lots that were designated to be duplexes that they would like to be designated as single-family as well. The HOA is in support of this amendment. So staff is just requesting that you discuss and provide us with next steps.
Is there any discussion?
So it's basically lower density.
Yes.
I noticed due to the housekeeping, the picture goes along with what was passed before, correct?
For the townhome lots, the duplex lots we haven't talked about before, so.
Will there be any objections?
Can't see why you would object to that, unless it's density.
All right. Our next item for discussion is the Economic Development Department, and Scott Copple will present this item.
Well,
Excuse me, Scott, before you start, can we move this to closed session and discuss this about personnel, not in open?
just real quick, Brian, this isn't about a specific person, this is about a position that could potentially be created or.
We
a
can still,
department.
we can put it into
Okay.
closed session first.
The Economic Development Department position will be moved to closed session discussion.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Our next item for discussion discussion is the 2026 village meeting schedule. Scott Capel will present it.
Hi, everybody, thank you. Every year, Tracy did the most work on this, so she can also help and answer questions, but every year we have to put out our annual meeting schedule by December 1st, I believe, and get that posted. We have probably put it in the paper, post it on our website, make it available. The intent is to keep the normal schedule of first and third Tuesday of every month. The meeting location, of course, being here until the new village hall is figured out. And then later on, we also we note we've added police pension, police commission, all those different meetings and our adjudications are all on our calendar as well. It's included in your packet, and the big discussion that typically happens is around the holidays. That is also approved annually, so that the employees know which holidays we have next year as part of the calendar. So Tracy and I are happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Is there any discussion?
Is Juneteenth an official holiday, and if so, by whom?
Federal government.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. 2 years ago became a holiday.
And then Columbus Day, is that considered a federal holiday?
Yeah.
Because
Yes,
there's a lot of,
Yep, it is.
there's a number of municipalities that were open that day.
Yeah.
So a municipality can opt to stay open, even though it is a federal holiday.
I believe there's no requirement that we be closed on federal holidays.
Speaking of holidays, this holiday, I'm not sure if anyone opposes. There was, in the state of Illinois, there is a newer holiday, Indigenous Peoples' Day. There was some confusion. Aurora had posted Happy Indigenous Peoples' Day on Columbus Day. It looks like it is a different day in Illinois. It's the last Monday in September, I believe. And so I had asked that on our Facebook and things like that next year, we just recognize it, because we do have an Indigenous history here. We're actually named after the Potawatomi tribe had named this area Sinquesit. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, but does anyone object to just like a Happy Indigenous Peoples' Day next year? It would be the first time we've done it.
No objection.
All right. And any other discussion?
I would like us to eliminate June 19th as a holiday that we're closed.
I would like to keep it, stay with the federal holidays that we have. I think that's what we generally do, is we stay with the federal holidays. That's correct, Scott?
That's what we've typically done in the past. I would also recommend it if we cut a day, we don't cut that day.
But Veterans Day is also a federal holiday. That's not closed that day either. So there's other holidays that they're closed too.
You're saying Veterans Day we're open?
Yeah, that's a federal holiday too, so.
Is it just missed by?
Never had it.
We never had it? Okay.
I would not be in favor of, I think Juneteenth is a newer holiday, and I would like to be supportive of it, so I would not be in support of staying open on that day.
See, the other, in the past, the village has eliminated the first meeting in August. In this case would be August 4th. I think the rationale there was for families that had kids in athletics. That's usually the week that they cannot hold practice under IHSA rules. So I just bring that up. I don't know if we...
It's typically Kalen's go home week, and a lot of times people will plan their family vacations that week, so we have in the past canceled that meeting for the past couple of years. We can, of course, cancel a meeting outside of our annual meeting schedule, but if we do want to give people due notice that that one is going to be canceled, we can certainly not include it on the annual calendar. Whatever way the board would like to move forward is fine.
I'm in favor of keeping the meeting on the schedule.
Keeping 2 meetings in August.
Yeah, but I just wanted to bring that up for discussion.
Oh, wait, I believe we may need to move the meeting that would be on election day. I think there's a new state law that you can't have public meetings.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's proposed or if it's been approved, but there's a proposed state law that you can't have public meetings on election day anymore.
So instead of having 1 meeting in August, should we have 1 meeting in November? Would that work?
I was gonna say, you can always just have it the Wednesday after the election.
You have 2 weeks in a row then.
Change the date, or I mean the day of the week, that's gonna mess with people more than change that 1 week later. Cause, if you change it from Tuesday to Wednesday, I think, like, some people have Tuesdays are scheduled, and Wednesday they have different activities, and
Right.
it's easier to do the next week, you know.
Could we
on
find
a-
out
like,
if
keep it
that's
on Tuesdays.
actual state?
I definitely saw it.
It's proposed, and I believe that what we've been told from Metro West, that is likely to pass. As there's a bill that has some OMA and FOIA changes in it, and that's one of the changes that is likely to pass.
Okay. Oh, okay. So,
We can always, if that doesn't pass, we could cancel the meeting that we set on the 10th and then have a meeting on the 3rd, but that is a strong possibility that one passes.
okay.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, so for the month of November, move November 3rd to November 10th, and then when would Thanksgiving be?
26.
That's right. What if we
Okay.
just have 1 meeting on November 10th?
That might be appropriate.
Yeah, I think just 1 November, makes sense.
That's fine, 1 meeting on the 10th instead of the 10th and the 17th.
Instead of the 3rd and the 17th, yeah.
Yeah. Unusually, there's no, we do get the whole Thanksgiving week with no meetings.
Yeah.
Just a quick question, for Danny, for November. Any issues that usually come up with development in buildings? I know a lot of times we get a big rush kind of toward in fall, because everyone wants to get everything going before frost. Is that, do you foresee any issue if we don't have 1 meeting in November?
I think if we decide it now, we can warn people as we're going through the process, and when they come to me and I'm laying out meetings, I can say, here's crazy, all of it is coming. And I think it depends on, I know that's only consistent, lately it has been a big rush,
Yeah.
we've been busier, but there's been other Novembers that have been here and there hasn't been much, so.
Yeah. I was just trying to get a feel for something to do, and if we need to, you can always call. Special meeting if we need to.
Any other discussion?
We'll get that updated and bring it back. Thank you.
Up for next, for discussion items, we have the Illinois Route 47 widening project landscaping plan, and Brad Merkel will present this item.
Good evening. I'm sure you all are aware of what's going on in the near future for us for IL-47 widening project. We've been coordinating different efforts with IDOT throughout this whole process. The first part was the utility relocation for our utilities, and then secondly, I think it was last November, we passed a IGA with them for outlining different maintenance and responsibilities of the village, and it also outlined the financial incentives that the village has got to pay her obligation. So October 2nd, I received the landscape plan from them, and they gave us they wanted it back by October 9th, but I told them that wasn't gonna happen. So I wanted to get it in front of you all, because I think there's a couple things that need to be highlighted. It's a really nice plan, but there's a lot of maintenance in it. And part of the maintenance in the IGA from us, from IDOT, is we have to maintain it, i.e. the medians and the outside strips. Whatever we plant, we have to take care of, other times we have to take care of. So there's a lot of natives and perennials and all kinds of stuff in there. So I've reached out to V3 to give us a proposal like of an annual maintenance cost, so we can gauge how much of the stuff we want, if we can financially afford it, long-term care. So it's, you know, it doesn't make any sense to put it all in and have it fail. So, and we can also negotiate with IDOT, I believe, on some of it and maybe minimize some of the stuff, you know, not have so much to take care of, like maybe the closer areas toward town, you know, but as you get south, maybe you just do turf grass to mow, but it's totally up to you guys. I wanted you to see it, and I plan to bring it back the next meeting with the information from V3. So.
We can't even afford to maintain what's proposed.
I know.
There's no money in the budget for all this kind of landscaping, and this is grassing in a median in parts going south all the way practically to Jericho.
Yeah.
That's not even in the village, even though we annexed 47. So I think that if everybody's still interested in a grass median, which of course is dangerous and expensive to maintain, that we currently have one that we do, that maybe we cut it off at Mallard Point and not grass in that whole median and recommend that part. They can go back to IDOT maintenance / their type of grass where they mow it, or asphalt, because until we have development down there, I mean, if that's what the board wants, is some landscape. I mean, we had this option. We did it, as you can see, along Jewel, because in Municipal Drive and Galena, we did, and then the 47, because we did want it. We did try trees there. We're down to one tree because it's just a very hostile environment for items growing because of the salt that's used on the roadway.
And the constant truck traffic, the wind on them and stuff.
Correct. So it's very, very difficult, and so it needs a lot of consideration. I'm not in favor exactly as it's proposed, because there's a lot of plantings that aren't really explained. I mean,
I have kind of the opposite view. I think that we've tried putting concrete in all of our medians. The residents were very unhappy. I think it looks terrible. Our planning commission thinks it looks terrible. There are trees that we can put that are salt resistant, especially natives. Like, they don't need to be watered. We can find ways to maintain them, but I do not think that we really need our village to look good, and the other surrounding villages, they have landscaping in their median. Some of it is native and low maintenance. They make it work. So I really don't want to just blanket say we can't afford this. And our planning commission is repeatedly asking me to try to add additional trees in that area over by Jewel. So I think this is an opportunity. I think if we really take some time and put thought into this, we can make our village look a lot better. This is our one opportunity to fix that just whole area of cement that we have right now that looks awful.
I mean, we've agreed to maintain the bike path, which is another expense that's not budgeted, which runs all the way from Cross to practically Jericho. That's on the village also. That's definitely safety, so definitely in favor of that. And Sue, are you talking just Mallard Point south property line north, or are you still even considering Mallard Point property line all the way to Jericho also?
Are you talking more Rolling Oaks? Because Mallard Point isn't really along 47.
Correct, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, I don't think, so what about, these are things that we can discuss, but we don't have to maintain it like a garden, where it's gonna be super expensive for that much space. But currently what IDOT does in long strips, they have that like wildflower mix and things like that you don't have to do anything with. Like maybe once or twice a year it has to be mowed, but there's not a whole lot that goes into that. So yeah, I would like to have ongoing discussions versus, just turf grass.
Right, that's, because that's not, they're recommending.
And I really think we can compromise and come up with.
Yeah, they're just recommending grass for, a salt tolerant grass for the median. There's a couple, and I don't, like I said, I don't understand, they've got perennial plantings and it says groupings of 475 each. And that's it. I mean,
So we,
And they, in the email, he asked for us to help, or to, what preferred species we, like they want us to do some, what we wanted.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, they wanted more input from us.
yeah, I don't,
But the big thing I want to stress that I didn't get to yet is even mowing of these is dangerous. I don't know if any of you seen what we have to do just to currently mow the medians. We have 2 police officers escort us, and we have a bash truck behind our mowing trailer. So it takes 6 guys, 6 crew members to mow the medians. Is it about 40 minutes when you guys go out there? Something like that? Just for turf grass, you know what I mean? So this.
let me, so I think turf grass is probably some of the most maintenance because every time it gets, just a little bit taller, you've got to mow it again, but, we don't have a deadline, right? I'm assuming, like, they gave us a deadline.
So he tried to give us a deadline saying that it needs to keep the project on schedule, but he gave us an unrealistic deadline.
Okay.
And I'd like to know,
If
which
we-
is gone, yeah, it's come and went, but.
If we could have maybe another 2 weeks to
That's what I
discuss this,
think,
let me
I
find
think I would
out.
like everybody to take some time and
Yeah.
review it. If anybody needs me to print them copies and get them to them, I can.
Okay.
I do not have color copies, this is what he sent me, so.
And then could we, I thought I had it here, but I don't, Carrie Ann, again, from, the Forest Reserve had, sent some recommended
Yes.
plans. If we could maybe send her input around as well, just so we can
Sure.
see something.
Sure. And then there's one other thing I wanted to note, in Prairie and 47 currently, would be the southeast corner of Prairie.
Mhm.
In this plan, I don't know if you can scroll through there, Tracy, and see, but they proposed like a row of pine trees at that intersection.
It's
On the
so-
south side, that's a terrible spot for them.
That is a terrible spot because
The
it's
line of sight
already
is
hard to see
ridiculous. You can
them.
see them right there, the dark ones, those are pine
Yeah.
trees.
I mean,
So
that
I'm
would-
gonna say hard no on that.
I know,
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah,
Could you,
all those.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, could you, get an idea of cost on maintenance?
Yes, I've already sent the stuff to V3 for their review, like as in what they recommend, what they see typically throughout the state, and then an annual cost to
Yeah.
maintain any of the natives and stuff that we don't have the specialty stuff to do.
Right,
So-
cause I think, looking at the plan, it's like, it's great. Are we gonna be able to pay for this? Cause we already gotta pay for, burying the utilities and all of that, which is
Right.
something we don't have.
If there are certain roads, especially between here and Geneva, that it looks like IDOT maintains that have the IDOT wildflower mix. So if we were to use like the IDOT wildflower mix, is there any way that IDOT would agree to maintain?
We already signed the IJ with them last year that will maintain the stuff. And I don't think that they'll negotiate it.
Okay.
And I-
So my comment is, the whole idea of concrete, I think would look bad. I mean, 47's our main thoroughfare.
I know,
I mean, I think
that's-
concrete's a bad idea. I mean, I'm okay with whatever we do there as long as it's not concrete.
Yeah. I
I
think
mean,
we,
well, whatever least maintenance that looks decent. I mean, if wildflowers, it's least maintenance, I'm fine with whatever it
And
is.
I asked for V3's input on the plan too, because that's what they do, so.
if possible, could you specifically ask V3 if we were to use the IDOT wildflower mix in the median, could we leave it alone for an entire season? And I know those flowers are particularly chosen because they grow short and don't require watering.
Just remember, it costs money, so I get it. I want it to look beautiful too, but you get to the practical end of it, and we'll have a price when Brad gets some information from V.
The problem is if you put concrete there and you have it developed down the road,
I agree with you 100% on looks.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give you guys an idea of the magnitude of cost, but going
Yeah.
forward,
Yeah.
and I'm not comfortable putting a number on that, so that's why I sent it to V3, and they obviously needed some time to review and prepare. So I was hoping I would have it today, so I could show you guys, but I did not get it.
Yeah. If you don't mind adding that specific question,
Yep.
if that would
I got it
be
written down.
a solution so that you wouldn't have to mow it all the time, the specific IDOT wildflower mix. Thank you.
Sounds
You can see the difference on Galena and Municipal, where it's not that high traffic truck route like 47, and how much nicer our internal landscape medians look. I mean, we have a lot of trees and everything.
Yeah.
So it's just remember, it's a very harsh environment. And I agree with as low maintenance as
And we
possible.
have no control over how much salt gets put down on the road because IDOT plows it and salts it.
Correct.
And they're going much faster.
Is there a hardscape, a hard product that is not just concrete? I've seen where they have like kind of the decorative.
Well, you could do like
boulders.
stamped concrete, like decorative concrete of some sort that could look like an aggregate or something, you know, but.
I'm just trying to see for something that doesn't look, I agree, I don't like the just plain concrete. I'm just trying to see if there's something in between, because I'm concerned with cost, because the maintenance is just going to go up and go up and up. So I'm just trying to look where we can have multiple options.
I'm all for saving money, but that strip is the main strip in our village, and we wanted to look nice and welcoming. I think it could pay off to have a village that, you know, the main strip looks nice. But yes, we'll try to find a solution. Obviously, the minimal upkeep and as cheap as possible.
The other thing that I discussed with B3 is there's that one detention basin, and they're showing a bunch of native seeds around it. But based on the depth of water on it, you have to use, I guess you have to use a plug instead of a seed, so we're gonna recommend that as one change too, just so hopefully it establishes better and splits.
Where's that detention
It's
basin?
the detention basin for the underpass.
Oh.
And
So it's just south of
Is that-
Prairie,
Okay.
right where, kind of where the existing one is. I'm not sure what sheet it's on.
And just to clarify, is IDOT covering the initial plantings?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it's part of the project, yes. But
Okay.
then
I think
I'm
we
guessing
should
it would
also-
probably be like a 1-year maintenance period, and then
Yeah.
we would have to take it over.
I think that is a really good opportunity that we could take advantage of. We are not paying for all these initial plantings, so I don't think we should miss that.
Is that IDOT's solution to the stormwater runoff, is that detention basin? or-
Yeah, with natives all around it, so it'll
And
control
are
the flow.
they pumping water from the underpass to this detention basin? or-
That's where it's already going, so they're expanding the storage there. Just right now, it just goes into a concrete basin and goes into that 30-inch tile that goes down to Jericho.
Yeah.
So they're gonna create a tension basin, so it'll slow the release down on it.
Oh.
Right,
Because wasn't that causing the flooding at Mallard Point? Was
That's a part of it, because it's not tributary water naturally, because before the underpass was there, that was all a mound, so not all that water, and then they put that in and illegally, under IDOT rules years ago, hooked up to the farm tile, actually Ogle farm tile, because it wasn't considered part of the drainage district yet at that point. So I guess, Brad, I know we did a study and had feedback to IDOT that we gave them
Yeah.
on the detention basin and the size of it and all that, and about tying into that pipe, which part of it we own. I don't know if there's any response.
They basically told us that that's what they were gonna do.
So, I mean, I hope that doesn't bring back Mallard headaches.
Yeah,
Because it's
right.
gonna be a 16-foot deep underpass, 4+ lanes wide of water.
And they're proposing that small detention area?
Mhm. Because they didn't size it for existing water.
I'd ask. Or
Was it
salt.
District 1 or 3, I forget, did this design work on this project? It was District 3, wasn't it? I think it was.
They passed it off to District 1 at the time. I thought that we had that report that we had done with Trotter.
If it ends up causing flooding,
There's
IDOT
been
have-
correspondence with IDOT
Okay.
regarding it, so.
and do they have insurance that we would be able to make a claim if, like, their engineering?
I doubt it.
Well, that needs to be addressed, I mean,
I don't know if there's anything we can do.
yeah.
Would that be something that legal can help us?
Or our
Protect us in some
state
way?
reps and elected officials, because that caused a lot of acrimony throughout this whole village.
We can look into it and see. Yeah.
I can send you what I have, the correspondence and stuff like that. We
Yeah.
sent.
Yeah, I don't doubt that you have. You've been here, so you know what problems it caused, but that just doesn't look like it's engineered to. Can we have our consultant, Trotter or somebody look at that?
Trotter reviewed it and we forwarded their concerns to IDOT and IDOT re-reviewed it and basically said they didn't agree with their concerns. They were proceeding as just
I'd ask that we send our concerns to the state elected officials and ask them to intervene, because it's just gonna get worse in the future.
Is there any other discussion? All right, thank you. All right, we will move on to reports. We have staff reports up first. Scott Koppel in administration.
Yep, thank you. So the key, or one of the biggest things we're working on is recruiting a new finance director. So and some interviews, still moving along with that. It was a bit delayed with my leave there. The other big one is the police station remodel, working with Chief on that and his team, and the meeting weekly with the architects and the buildings on site and see how it's moving along. It's moving along. If you've driven past, it's moving along very well. And Tracy, I believe we get some overhead shots. Can you pull those up in pictures from the architect? Sorry if I surprised you at the time. I was gonna have Chief talk about it, but he's fly cut to lights, so he's not back yet. So just to be able to see some of the work that's been done there already, if you can just kind of flip through them slowly. They got permission from the airport to have a drone fly it. They've moved a lot of earth already. They knocked out that big planter that was in the front of the building. The inside's pretty nearly, the demo's complete. And it's moving right along, and hopefully they'll be in doing a lot of the work, able to keep working over the winter on the remodeling where everything is on schedule thus far with little changes. We found out we have to bring in a little bit less fill than we anticipated. But Brad, what was the one issue about, we have the pipe that has to be dropped a little bit?
Yeah, the sanitary sewers almost back pitched, so they're gonna replace the sanitary sewer through the parking lot. We're still waiting on that change order cost, but yeah.
So,
but the undercuts there was less undercut required because the soils were better for the footings.
so we're hoping that
Offsets.
offsets as much as possible. So some good news and some bad news, but got to make sure the sanitary is done correctly. So that's what, just wanted to update everybody on how that's going. The project's going great. Light Construction's been very communicative, and Corrigan Clark as the on-site project manager has been doing a great job as well. And I'm sure we'll invite Corrigan Clark back out to a future board meeting to provide updates to the board on progress and answer any questions that you may have as the project is moving along. Happy to answer any questions as well.
Any community development?
I have nothing to add. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
Mo, do you have anything to add?
How's the new police department working out, temporary police department?
I mean, it's early in construction, and we're trying to work on it, but we're grateful.
Brad, Brooklyn Public Works.
I have nothing to add except for taking a ride down Wheeler Road if you haven't been down there lately. We got paid, so that's done.
Oh.
From Esker all the way to Dugan, so that's
Wow.
pretty exciting, because it needed it.
Yeah.
And then next year, we had Dugan and the other part of Wheeler in the KCOM, and we got it moved up till next year, so
Oh, nice.
we good.
Thank you. Has, IDOT, I had tried to email IDOT myself. Have they given any
I haven't
updates?
heard anything. The last update I had from him, he kind of was Like, you'll be the first to know when it's ready, kind of one of those emails back.
For
Okay.
what?
For Park and
47
47.
and Park.
Wow.
I've been poking them every month, and so is HR Green, and I think they're.
I tried emailing the,
Was it your
District
emails?
one?
Yeah,
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 the
that's the head engineer, yeah. I doubt he'll answer you. Don't take it the wrong way, I mean,
Oh, no,
he's
I-
like on, you never
Yeah.
see him. I mean, Tony can vouch for me, he's like untouchable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
Trustee reports, we have trustee Lynn.
No, I think
Trustee Special.
No report.
Trustee Michaels.
A couple things. Is there something we can do about a panhandler ordinance to prevent panhandlers being on the street corners?
But that's allowed.
It's against the law.
Yeah.
Is it- Can we limit it on our local roads? And
It's against the law.
you can't even
You
not.
cannot ACLU file a lawsuit. You can write a citation for walking in the roadway. That's the only repercussions.
Okay. I was talking to former trustee Mary Heineman, and she mentioned that the village has not approved the bike plan. That was a concept years ago.
I'm not sure.
So if it's not, if we could bring it to the board to have formal approval and then maybe work on updating that plan. But I was told, and I think she was told by an employee of the park district that that plan has not formally been approved by the village. I was just, if we could look into it. And then some correspondence between the village and Crown on the water. And I just, talking about Mallard Point just now, I really am concerned about the high water table at Grove Area 1. And I don't know what we can do to ensure that people's sump pumps don't run all the time, and work with the developer to alleviate that high water table now in the development stage, as to opposed to a time that it's too late and we get a lot of calls or have to do something at the village level. But I think it's a concern that we need to address.
Would that be something we address when a builder is found, and when the builder comes, or when would be the appropriate time to discuss basements?
They're gonna say it's not their problem, it's the developer's issue, problem. So it'd be pointing fingers back and forth. So I think that we're aware of it now, that we should look at some solution at this time.
Would it be premature to discuss future basements, as we don't have soil information?
That is an engineering question, I can get back to that.
Okay. And did you have anything else?
No, and to that point, maybe it's doing some test holes, to go down 6-7 feet to see what type of water table we hit, how high it is.
I don't think we have the ability to go on their property now and do soil borings.
J&S dug test well holes out there before they even started moving dirt, like when they were still bidding it to see if they got the job from Crown.
Oh.
Remember that backhoe got mobilized out there? It was out there for a couple of days. That's usually what they do.
Okay.
I mean, that's what they did at Lamar.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. It's just from when we had a couple inches of rain about 3 weeks ago, that detention pond basin was full, and that was without any sumps running into it. So, and they're pumping that water out of that detention basin. So.
If J&S has the soil boring reports, I have requested them. From our engineers, to my knowledge, our engineers do not have soil boring reports.
They didn't do soil borings. They took a backhoe out there and just like excavated down to see what the soil was.
Oh, just to see.
Yeah, just to see what it was made up of, so they could bid it for the match dirt, so they could see how much clay they had to balance or black, like that, so.
If at any point a report or further information becomes available, if you could send it to us. The last I
That's it, thank you.
Trustee Roscoe.
No report.
Trustee Bonnie.
No, I just want to follow up the high water table thing. Was there something that was sent referencing a high water table? Because everything that I've been seeing said that there was not. Was there an email or anything?
I can send to you. EEI confirmed that the 20-year-old soil boring report said the water table is between 3 feet and 15 feet. EEI said it's as shallow as 1.5 feet in some places, but that's where there's a drainage tile. And so yeah, there are a couple emails. If you do you want the information, I can send it.
Yeah, was I the only person not privy to that email?
No, I was asking questions. As far as I know, only I got the answers because I asked the questions.
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm happy to share.
Yeah.
I'm happy to share with you whenever. I've been willing to communicate. So if there's ever information you would like me to keep you updated on, I'm more than willing.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, yeah, I was just confused.
My reference to the high water table was in the letters back and forth between our attorney. I think Jim had brought it up in his letter, and then Crown addressed it in their response letter. So,
Yeah, the email that was sent from the attorney.
yeah.
But didn't have any supporting documents to it?
No, it just brought
Right,
up
yeah.
that issue,
Yeah.
and that's what
So,
I was.
yeah, I guess my question was there any supporting documents that I wasn't privy to that stated that we had these low water tables, so, which you just answered for me, so.
Yeah, I can send you.
Yeah, that'd be great, I appreciate it. Other than that, I don't have anything else, thank you.
No. President's report, I just have a couple of items. Number one, the beautification and gardening committee. We wanted to do something good this holiday. We contacted Between Friends Food Pantry, and there's 8 items that they are in need of. So I can ask Tracy too if she could email all the trustees a list of 8 items, maybe at our next board meeting. If anyone would like to bring and contribute, they're looking for like rice and feminine hygiene items, things like that. If we all contribute, that'd be awesome for the holidays. And then in front of the sign around 47 in Main, the Sugar Grove sign, we wanted to plant some bulbs so they'll pop up in the spring, and Brad was nice enough to place that order for us. So I think November 3rd is gonna be our likely date, and it's probably gonna be cold, but we're gonna go out there and plant the bulbs. So if anyone wants to join us, you're all invited to plant bulbs in the cold. And then finally, we had an idea, and if anyone happens to know a local carpenter, we're looking for one. But we were thinking of, for the 4th of July next year, it's going to be the 250th anniversary. We originally thought about doing a mural, like a paint by number mural where the community could help us paint it. But we found this large chair that another community in Oregon, Illinois had done, and it has like symbols of their community all over the chair, and then people can sit and take pictures and stuff like that. So we're thinking of possibly trying to do something like that here if anyone happens to know a local carpenter. And then on the 4th of July, the community can help us paint it according to the numbers. And I think that is it. All right, there is an executive session this evening. Is there a motion and a second to enter executive session?
What are we discussing?
Sorry about that. Personnel, 5 ILCS 122C1, and property land acquisition 5 ILCS 122C5. And to adjourn the meeting afterward, as there is no further business to discuss.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion from Trustee Michaels. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And a second from Trustee Ross.
Trustee Michaels?
Aye.
Trustee Roscoe?
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay?
Aye.
Trustee Special?
Aye.
Trustee Bonnie?
Aye.
The ayes have it, and we will enter executive session at this time.